Ben felt his shoulders relax as soon as he stepped into the terminal of Leonardo da Vinci International Airport. He walked quickly through the crowd, making his way past the slow-moving early summer tourists. He'd skipped a checked suitcase. The notes and journal Giovanni had given him were wrapped in the bottom of his messenger bag, so if he timed things right... He arrived at passport control just before an enormous tour group of Chinese visitors flooded the line. With a few quick stamps and another few rote questions, the girl checking his passport stamped it and waved him through. Benvenuta a Roma, signor Vecchio. Grazie. Ciao. With his name and near-impeccable accent, she probably figured Ben for an Italian, despite his American passport. It wouldn't be far off. Though his blood was an even mix between Puerto Rican and Lebanese, he could easily pass for an Italian, especially when he grew out his beard, which he'd done as soon as his semester had ended. Slipping on his sunglasses, Ben grabbed a cab and relaxed into the back seat, letting out a long breath as the taxi wound its way through the traffic of midday Rome. The driver hummed along with the quick jazz on the radio, but didn't try to talk to him. Ben gave him an address near the Pantheon and leaned back to close his eyes. Rome. Ben smiled. It was good to be back. Home had always been a fluid concept to Ben. It consisted far more of the people present than any particular location. Home was Giovanni and Beatrice, Casper and Isadora, Des and Matt. But home was also Angela, Giovanni's long-time housekeeper in Rome. If there was any city that felt more like home than Los Angeles, it was probably Rome. Some of his happiest and most terrible memories were here. He started awake from his snooze when the driver stopped in the tiny Piazza de Santa Chiara. Ben paid him and grabbed his bag, then waited for the driver to pull away before he made his way up the side street that led to the house. After punching in the code for the giant wooden door that shielded the property from prying eyes, he pulled it open, wondering how Angela was coping with the gate when she ran errands. His uncle, being a 500-year-old vampire, tended to forget about things like human frailties and arthritis. "Ciao, Angela," he called into the courtyard. He heard a fluttering like bird wings before a tiny woman appeared from the kitchen on the ground floor. "Ciao, Nino." Angela covered his cheeks with her small, wrinkled hands and pulled him down for a kiss, chattering as he laughed. Angela had to be in her late 60s, but she still had the bright eyes and impeccable style of a woman much younger. She'd run Giovanni's house in Rome for most of her adult life with a healthy balance of efficiency, warmth, and Tuscan comfort food. "You've gotten taller since Christmas," she said. "No, I promise I haven't." He filled out a bit in the shoulders, but he was done growing. Almost 6 feet would have to suffice. "You're too thin." She pinched his arm. "Nino, what do they feed you in California? It's not enough. Come." She waved him into the kitchen. "I'm making meatballs for you and Fabi for dinner." He rubbed his eyes. Now that he was within the familiar walls of Residenza di Spada, he felt the delayed exhaustion hit. He'd bypassed the offer of Giovanni's plane, choosing to use some of his frequent flyer miles to upgrade to first class, but he hadn't really slept for almost 24 hours. "Angie, I think I might lie down for a bit." "Not too long." The housekeeper was accustomed to international guests. "Sleep for a little. I'll wake you up for dinner." "You need to get on Roman time." "Si, zia." "Your room is made up. Fresh sheets on the bed, and I washed the clothes you left here. Not many summer things, I don't think." Because he usually avoided the furnace of Rome in the summer, he could already feel his shirt sticking to his back. "I'll be fine. I'll pick up some new things tomorrow." At least there was no lack of shopping in Rome. It was expensive, but Ben thought the quality was worth the extra cash, and he saved most of his formal shopping for Italian visits. He walked upstairs and tucked Giovanni's notes and the journal in the safe in the master suite, then made his way to the cool shadows of his room, where he toppled face first into bed.